And what is up, all you YouTube viewers and YouTube fans? It is me and yours truly, Brandon Murphy, here on YouTube, as well as you folks may know me from my Twitch channels under Brandon the Yellow Koopa and Brandon the Mandalore 37. Remember them all, folks, so you have to at some point, some way, somewhat, and of course, some when. And today, folks, is Friday, and I just want to warn everybody before I start discussing, reacting, and reviewing this video I've seen. I think it was a couple weeks or maybe it was a month ago that I have not folks shared over decades. So yeah, let me give you folks a little warning and heads up that if you folks remember our Disney classic Bambi, where Bambi grew up and so on and so forth, then I highly folks recommend you let your kids and your whole entire family watch that one over this movie that I'm about to folks discuss, react, and review to you all today. So that being said, let's as Mario would say, folks, in a moment.
Let's go!
Yeah, let's go and start discussing, reacting, and reviewing this next horror movie called Bambi's Reckoning or something like that. I don't know, but yeah. So where do I folks even start? Well, as I said in the beginning of this video, if we folks remember our Disney classic Bambi, where Bambi was a child in Bambi and Bambi 2, yet Bambi grew up to be a man. Then, yeah, once again, folks, I recommend you watch that one. You let your kids and family watch that, because in this movie, from what I've seen in the trailer clips, we find us human beings going out in the neck of the woods, and I do mean by our very own necks, inside of the woods. And I'm not saying the racist word because I would get in trouble for that. So instead I'm saying neck of the woods. But you folks get what I'm saying. We find us human beings in the neck of the woods. Just doing our usual camping routine. We sleep, we put up a nice campfire, and we even, folks, cook, I don't know, s'mores, maybe some hot cocoa, or maybe chocolate, or whatever, man. Until these horn figure creatures known as deers or elks or elves or whatever they call themselves, they jump out of nowhere, started killing us human beings, and so on and so forth, man. And I'm folks not even kidding. I can look this up actually by rewatching Bambi, the Reckoning trailer. Just give me one moment. Yeah, here it is. And without me being copyrighted or in trouble, I'm gonna mute the video, but
It's the biggest.
yeah. So I'm gonna mute the video and we're gonna get into this movie. Now, I know this movie is not from Umbrella Entertainment, and it's probably made from somebody else. Yeah, this has to be like somebody. This has to be a different company that made this movie. But anyway, so let's continue on with the trailer. So, like I was saying, we see ourselves just camping in the middle of the woods, and while most of us human beings are hunting down these so-called deers and elks or whatever, we get an opening. We folks get an opening telling us about the same director, the same producer, and the same writers who did Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and all that jazz. That made that movie years ago. There are folks making yet another movie, but it's not gonna be Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. It's gonna be something far more different. This, folks, tells a story about, and I'm never going to stop repeating this, but it stars as us human beings hunting down deers and elks, when all of a sudden, and once again, this two-horn deer or elk starts showing up unannounced and starts doing this kind of sound. That kind of noise and sound as it starts trotting towards us, like it's not even folks happy. See, there, as I'm watching this trailer again, it starts trotting its way to the female, the man that was in the driver's seat, and a small little boy or child that starts topsy-turvying the vehicle, into a 360 or 180 and start screaming like or something like that. I don't know how deers or elks sounds would make, but yeah, that's what it did. And now we get another scene where the deer, for the third and final time, you folks get the idea. He was trotting towards an old lady's household, and we get yet another scene where two men and a female opens the door and sees, well, what they're not supposed to see, and that is another deer just smiling. Now, there's folks, loads of scenes in this movie that I don't want to share any further because it's got lots of blood, lots of gore, lots of stuff, but there is one scene, folks, that I saw, and that is a female lady being inside of a trailer, from what it looks like, or maybe an RV, I don't know. Starts driving away, and bam, and this two-horned deer or elk still keeps on trotting its way to that, towards that RV or trailer. So this is why, folks, I'm saying I'm not gonna go into too much detail of the gore and such. Oops, son of a bitch. But we hear an old man telling a female that whatever that lady and these two human beings in their rifles saw was not their actual Bambi. And once again, that's why I'm pointing out the warning earlier today in the video, that I'm going to say it for the third and final time, that if you folks remember Bambi, and I'm talking about the Disney classic version of Bambi and Bambi 2, go check those out right now before we jump to this. Because what this old man is saying is that the Bambi that we folks knew from the Disney classics, Bambi and Bambi 2, is different to the one here and now. And it is, folks, not happy at us for killing its mom, killing its dad, killing every single two-horned deer or elk in the woods. So we didn't hear this lady saying, so wait a minute, you're saying this Bambi is different than the classics? And yes, we are talking about that same Bambi that is different than the Disney classics, because this is no regular and ordinary Bambi, folks. This kind of Bambi is the one that's gonna kill and murder everybody. And yeah. So we get to the ending of the video trailer of Bambi the Reckoning, where there's probably the same two guys who were hiding from Bambi. Probably in a kitchen or in a dining hall or whatever. And just when the two guys and the lady was safe from Bambi, you bet your sorry folk. You bet your sorry. I would not place you guys' bets on being safe from Bambi, because at the end of the movie trailer, before we got a title card called Bambi the Reckoning, we see this poor lady along with the two guys hiding in the kitchen or dining hall, and the first thing she sees, what she does, is she looks up and she's like, oh, shish kebab. Then she starts screaming like, ah! Or no, even better. I got a better scream for this. Hang on. She starts screaming like, ah! Just like that, and that's where we folks get our title card called Bambi the Reckoning. And at the ending of the scene, we see Bambi and the lady just having a stare down, and The only thing it said at the end of the Bambi the Reckoning movie trailer is that it's coming soon. Now, I am, folks, no expert or not like those other YouTubers that tells us when it's coming out. But what I can say is it's in the movie trailer that it is coming soon. Like it could be coming to. It could possibly come between September through November, or it could be coming out probably, folks, in a later year. Like we're talking about, folks, during the year 2026. So, yeah, that's why I, folks, prefer, in my case, watching Bambi, the Disney classic kind of Bambi and Bambi 2, because it's got that nice throwdown between Bambi and this guy that's jealous of Bambi. And so on and so forth. And I am, folks, I could say, folks, in the moral lesson of this video or movie that we're, folks, about to see, and I'm never gonna stop saying this, but if we, folks, prefer watching Bambi or the Disney classics, then I highly recommend we watch, folks, the classic Bambi and Bambi 2 before we, folks, jump to Bambi the Reckoning. Or maybe we just won't watch the movie at all because most of us human beings don't care about Bambi and its family or its friends and so on and so forth. That maybe someday in the future we might end up like Bambi's family and become bread. So, yeah. But that's pretty much all I can share, folks, today. I need to go fill my water bottle at a gas station near my apartment complex. And I also got some catching up to do on Star Wars The Old Republic before I go and play some TF2 with my friends on Steam. So, yeah. All I could say, folks, is you know the drill. If you folks like the video, you know what to do. Subscribe to my channel or don't. Give me a thumbs up or don't. And finally, tell me what you folks think about this movie, and then tell me if you folks think it's worth watching this creepy horror scary film, Bambi the Reckoning, or not. And we could, folks, watch Bambi and Bambi 2 on Disney Plus and such. Alright? But until then, I am yours truly, folks, Brandon Murphy, here on YouTube. And as well as you folks may know me from my Twitch channels under Brandon the Yellow Koopa and Brandon the Mandalore 37. Remember it all, folks, so you have to at some point, some which, some way, somewhat, and of course some when. Saying to you all a goodbye, auf Wiedersehen, Francois, sayonara, and all that jazz. Plus, you folks know. Plus, if you folks don't know the band Puya, who sings that hit single Fundamental that they named after their hit single called Fundamental, saying go, folks. Keep it simple. Then I highly recommend you folks go and check that out. It's a good song. They're a good band, and so on and so forth. But yes, please, folks, keep it simple. And I guess, folks, until tomorrow, when I will be discussing, reacting, and reviewing SMG4 and Alex Spyre's newest videos. This is yours truly, me, Brendan Murphy, here on YouTube, as well as you folks may know me from my Twitch channels under Brendan the Yellow Koopa and Brendan the Mandalore 37. Signing out, saying have a good day, have a good afternoon, have a good night time, all that good jazz. Okay? Oh, and before I forget, I also forgot to mention you folks know how I end my streams or videos, so here you go.
Oh, mamma mia!